In the top stories, National Assembly passes comprehensive amendments to strengthen the financial sector. Cuba's Communist Party approves a new package of market-oriented economic reforms, and Italy's Prime Minister has rejected Donald Trump's claim that she begged for a photograph. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Friday the 19th of June 2026. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has successfully passed a comprehensive suite of 5 legislative amendments in the National Assembly to strengthen the Federation's financial sector. The regulatory package was piloted through the House by Utilities and Domestic Transport Minister, the Honourable Conress Maynard, with strong parliamentary support. The passed measures include amendments to the Financial Services Regulatory Commission, gaming control, virtual assets, anti-terrorism and anti-proliferation laws. Minister Maynard underlined that safeguarding the financial system's integrity is a national responsibility rather than a basic regulatory exercise. The amendments strategically align with the jurisdiction with evolving international standards for anti-money laundering and mechanisms to oversee counter-terrorism financing. Officials emphasized that these robust government steps are essential to preserving the Federation's vital critical correspondent banking relationships. Administrators reiterated that the secure framework will boost investor confidence, insulate legitimate international investments, and secure sustainable generational economic growth. And the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has also launched an innovative new program, Own Your Summer, on Wednesday this week. It's a program designed to keep young people engaged during the school holidays and reduce their exposure to crime and violence. Own Your Summer forms part of the government's broader human security strategy and seeks to provide children and teenagers with positive opportunities for learning, skills development, and personal growth during the summer months. Co-chair of the Human Security Advisory Council, Senator Iselene Phillip, met with community organizations on Wednesday as part of efforts to build support for the program. She said the initiative recognizes that young people can face greater risks of negative influences during the holiday period when school is out.
This time is considered the summer of intervention, where we find data tells us that during the summer, our young people are at highest risk of being recruited into gang and nefarious criminal types of activity.
The program will encourage participation in summer camps, educational activities, workshops, and other structured programs designed to support youth development.
And so as part of the response, as part of the preventative approach, which is what the public health approach prescribes, we want to make sure that our young people are channeled into activities, camps, workshops, apprenticeships, internships during the summer months to occupy them positively for their own positive development and growth.
Officials say community groups, volunteers, and other partners will play a key role in delivering activities and expanding opportunities for young people across the Federation.
That, of course, is that we are looking to address root causes and make sure that we continue on with preventative activities and actions to reduce the risk to violence and crime.
The Human Security Advisory Council says it will continue to work with community partners throughout the summer as the initiative rolls out across St. Kitts and Nevis. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank will launch its new Office of Financial Conduct in September to help oversee the relationship between commercial banks and their customers. However, the office will not have responsibility for credit unions or insurance providers. Tracy Paulius, Chief Director of Policy at the ECCB, told ZIZ News earlier this week that a separate policy is now being developed to establish oversight of the relationship between credit unions, insurance providers, and their customers across the currency union.
So this reform is primarily for banks or financial institutions licensed under the Banking Act, that is neobanks. This reform is not for credit unions and insurance companies and other financial institutions which we call non-bank financial institutions. We are looking at improving the regulation of those non-bank financial institutions, but that will be done under a reform called the Eastern Caribbean Financial Standards Board, which is a regional regulator for non-bank financial institutions. Under this regulatory architecture, we will continue to have our national regulators, such as the Financial Services Regulatory Commission or the FSRC in respective countries. We will continue to have those supervise the operations of non-banks, such as credit unions.
Chief Director of Policy at the ECCB, Tracy Paulius. Regionally, Cuba's Communist Party has approved a new economic package that could introduce some of the most significant market-oriented reforms seen on the island in recent years. The measures are aimed at reviving Cuba's struggling economy as the country continues to face economic pressures and widespread shortages. According to officials, the package includes plans to expand opportunities for private enterprise, give greater autonomy to local governments and state-owned companies, and attract additional foreign investment. The proposals are also expected to create new opportunities for investment from Cubans living abroad. The announcement comes amid growing public frustration over power outages and economic conditions, with residents in several Havana communities recently staging protests. President Miguel Diaz-Canel said Cuba continues to face external pressures, including sanctions and other measures imposed by the United States. The economic package is now set to be presented to Cuba's National Assembly for consideration. Still on the regional scene, relatives of a Trinidad and Tobago police officer who died while in prison are rejecting reports that he took his own life and are calling for a full investigation into the circumstances surrounding his death. 32-year-old Rafael Joseph was found unresponsive in his cell at the Eastern Correctional and Rehabilitation Center on Thursday morning. Joseph, who was being held pending extradition to the United States in connection with a narcotics investigation, was pronounced dead after being taken to the hospital. Speaking through their attorney, family members said they don't believe Joseph died by suicide and are demanding answers from prison and police officials. Relatives claimed that they were not allowed to view his body and raised concerns about his treatment in the days leading up to his death. They also challenged reports that Joseph had been suicidal, describing him as a devoted father who had been looking forward to reuniting with his family. Prison officials have not publicly responded to the family's allegations. An investigation into the death is expected. Internationally, Italy has strongly rejected claims by U.S. President Donald Trump that Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni begged him for a photograph during the recent G7 summit in France. The dispute erupted after Trump allegedly made the remarks during a media interview following the summit. Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani described the comments as offensive to both Meloni and Italy and canceled a planned visit to the United States in response. Meloni also publicly denied the claim, describing it as completely fabricated. She ended the statement with a direct rebuttal, saying, quote, "Italy and I do not beg," end quote. The exchange marks a rare public disagreement between Trump and Meloni, who have generally maintained close political relations. The European Union has made a tentative move to re-establish communications channels with Russia as questions continue about how any future peace talks on Ukraine might unfold. EU officials say recent diplomatic contacts have taken place with Moscow, though they stress that no substantive discussions have been held. The outreach comes as European leaders seek to ensure the bloc is not sidelined in any future efforts to end the war in Ukraine. Officials maintain that the European Union is not seeking a mediating role and continues to support Ukraine's efforts to secure what it describes as a just and lasting peace. The development comes as Ukraine launched one of its largest drone attacks of the war, according to Russian officials. The attack reportedly targeted several locations, including an oil refinery near Moscow, where flight operations at some of the capital's airports were also disrupted. Russian President Vladimir Putin has previously said Europe can't act as a mediator in the conflict, but has indicated that Moscow remains open to communication with the European Union. And we now take a look at the weather. Present weather across St. Kitts and Nevis is cloudy skies with showers in the vicinity. Winds are a moderate breeze of 16 miles per hour from the east. Seas are moderate with waves of 1.2 to 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. Weather today is partly cloudy skies with brief cloudy spells and a 60% chance of brief passing showers. Weather tonight will be fair to partly cloudy in general, with a 40% chance of a brief overnight shower. Sunset will be at 6:47 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow is set for 5:38 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Jason Davis.